Up Facebook Live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully, you're having an amazing day, evening, morning, afternoon, depending on where in the world you are tuning in from. Let me make sure this is up and crack-a-lackin'. There we go. Good to go. Look at that. Alice, nice to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you're tuning in, I'd love to know, number one, where you're tuning in from. Number two, I'd love to know three things you are grateful for out there in the world today. Feel free to put it right down there in the comment section. You see me looking down? I'm just looking at your beautiful comments and thoughts coming through. Debbie, what's up? Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're talking about how to make progress, how to keep consistently moving forward. Marilyn, nice to see you. Welcome. Debbie from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Welcome. Donald, I just met your father. Class act. I'm grateful for that. Cool. Donald, where are you? Let's see. Fred, nice to see you. Welcome. Again, as you're tuning in, I'd love to know, number one, where you're tuning in from. Number two, I'd love to know three things you are grateful for out there in Facebook world. Jacob from Louisiana, Donald from Chicago, very nice. Pete, morning, Sydney, breakfast, refreshments, and great weather, very cool. Three things he is grateful for. So if you're out there in Facebook world, I'd love to know three things you are grateful for this morning, this evening, this afternoon, depending on when I am reaching you. I realize we get people all over the world at all different times. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about how to increase and consistently increase your performance, consistently help you make progress. Wendy from Kew Garden Hills, welcome, Wendy. Nice to see you. Who else is here? I do see that number ticking up. Donald says, I'm grateful for my mother is almost 2 years cancer-free. Congratulations. And I'm grateful for my two beautiful children, grateful for all my friends. Jamie, yo, what's up from LA? Welcome. Debbie, grateful for great afternoon mini golf with my boyfriend. Cool. Who won? Always curious. A nice lunch out with my coworkers. Another day in this beautiful planet. Sean, what's up, buddy? Welcome back. Meg, hey there. Appreciate your wise words. A stressful day that ended up being, well, grateful and appreciative of my progressions. Very cool. Well, today we're talking about progress. So we're going to be focused on a few simple things you can do every single day to consistently make progress. Let's see, who else is joining us? Debbie. He did by, 2 points. Man, he gotcha. Of course, Sean. Nice to see you, buddy. Let's see. So as you're tuning in, if you're just tuning in right now, I'd love to know, number one, where you're tuning in from. Number two, I'd love to know three things you're grateful for. Right down there in the comments section. Jamie, super grateful for you, bro. Very nice. Simone, Australia, day off, health, and my car. Very cool. Well, welcome. So real simple. This is going to be short, sweet, and straight to the point. I'm going to set this down so I can chat with y'all up here. Real sweet and to the point here. If you want to make progress in anything, there's a couple things you got to do. Number one, you have to define what the standard is. And so I'll show you how to do this in one category of your life, and then you can expand it to the rest of your categories of life. So in our book, Live It Over... wait, right there. Those books. Chapter 1, we talk about designing your absolute ideal day. So how you'd ultimately want your life to be. Where you'd want to wake up, who would be there, how you feel, where you go, what you do, what's everything you'd want to experience in your life, your business, your health, that would make it the most perfect day you could ever imagine. The type of day that you would not be willing to trade for any amount of money, fame, fortune, anything. There'd be nothing on earth worth trading for this day. And on this day, you know that you lived fully, you loved deeply and passionately with your heart and soul, and you really lived in a way that mattered far beyond you being here physically, meaning your ripple will continue beyond your physicalness of being here on this planet. And so we talk about how do you design that kind of day. And once you've designed that kind of day and you know what your vision, a North Star, looks like, and for those of you not familiar, a North Star, it's different than a goal. A goal is, let's say, a finish line. It's a place where you start here and you want to end here. And so on the journey, you're going to go through, make progress, and eventually land up right here. Now, most of you, if you probably agree with me that when you go on a journey or an adventure and you look up at the North Star, you never tell your significant other, hey, I'll be back in a few. I'm going to go to the North Star. Now you can move towards the North Star every single day, and it can be the guiding light of your journey, helping you to navigate all the different ins and outs on the path of where you're headed to eventually land up on the goal, the other side of where you're trying to get to. But you never say, I'm going to land up at the North Star. You say, I'm going to use the North Star to guide my journey. So two things you want to think of in this. Number one, the concept of what are your goals? Meaning, do you specifically have goals? Meaning at December 31st, 2017, there's a goal, a place you want to land up in your health. And do you also have a North Star? Meaning something that is your vision way, way, way out there, that's so big, so bright, so far past what most people believe is, even possible or reality, that guides your journey every single night, day, and week. And step that you take, because that North Star is what keeps you inspired. That North Star, when you feel like you're lost, when you feel like you're off track, when you feel like you're not going in the right direction, when you feel like nothing's going to work out, you gaze out at that North Star, and that North Star reminds you, hey, it's possible, it's there, it's waiting for you, and all you have to do is keep moving forward, keep making progress. That's what that North Star is for. So hopefully this makes sense. I would love to know in your whatever category of life you're focused on, your health, your emotions, your family, your intimate relationship, your business, your finances, your spiritual life, whatever major category you're focused on, which is chapters 2 and 3 of those awesome books right there. But whatever majors you're focused on, I'd love to know, what's your North Star? What is your ultimate vision, like the biggest vision you can imagine, the biggest results, 100 times bigger, not 10 times, but 100 times or 200 times bigger than any one destination you want to arrive at, but something that's so big, so profound, just so deep and meaningful and purpose-filled for you that when you think about it, oh man, it could inspire you to get through even the hardest times, even the craziest times, even the ups and downs, and no matter what life throws at you, as long as you have that North Star you can imagine and think about, oh, it's worth it. And it's worth going through the ups and downs, the battles, the good times, the bad times, the sad times, and everything in between. What's that North Star for you? Now, if you were to figure out what that is, hopefully throw in the comment section. I like to read these, and I'm sure other people tuning in who are going to watch this, on average, we get a few thousand views of these videos over the next couple days each time. And so for someone who's going to tune in and read about your North Star, hopefully the way you write it or phrase it could inspire them to think of things they want in their North Star vision for what they're up to. So please share, those of you watching. Now the next part is, once you've identified your North Star, that giant, fantastic, 100 times bigger than anything else vision, now I'd love to know, what's the goal? What is the goal that you want to achieve? Meaning a place you want to get to by, let's say, the end of this year. So, and pick a category of your life and say, okay, here's where I want to get to. Let's see. Ty says, my business idea, very nice. Meg says, happy marriage, happy family, and success, very cool. So in those categories, what's the tangible, measurable location you want to reach by the end of this year in those specific areas that you're focused on? So in your relationship, where do you want to arrive at? Do you want to make 5 of your significant others, bucket list dreams come true this year? Do you want to take them and help them to experience, their major goal or victory this year? Do you want to help them become healthier than they've ever become? Do you want them to help, what are the goals in that relationship? One thing I write down every week that I'm focused on is, I want to figure out how to come up with a way to make my wife feel like the most loved, seen, appreciated, and what's the other one? Hold on, let me grab my journal. I'll tell you what I focus on. Grab this. Let's see. So this is what I aim for in my relationship. Just to give you an example, make my wife feel like the most loved, adored, cherished, appreciated, acknowledged, and seen woman on earth. And that's a goal. That's not that's not something that's some huge thing far away. That's like, hey, there's things I can do every day by asking her what helps her feel that way, by learning about her, and by striving each day to figure out, how can I help her experience more of those feelings? And I think it'd probably be helpful over the next 5, 10, 20 years if I continuously work on figuring out more strategy and more ways to help her feel that way and be seen and heard and experienced and loved and cherished in those ways. Let's see. Ty says $10,000 a month in residual income. Very cool. Annette, hey, my aunt. Everyone say hello to Annette, my aunt. She's joining us. Welcome. Kayla, Spiritual Education Center and Conscious Child Care Center, franchise at the end of the year. Taking my NLP practitioner hypnotherapy, timeline therapy. Very cool. Claudia, nice to see you. Claudia. Josh, North Star for me is change people around through Stuart. What's up, buddy? Joshua says, my North Star for me is to change people around me through veganism, and I work hard to promote positivity through it and change the way people think of eating and living a vegan life. Very cool. I have a vegan cupcake business. Nice. And I have changed people's minds about vegan food. It's my goal to live abundantly through my business and change the way we treat animals and others through positive messages and share. That's very cool. Joshua, where's your business located? One of our favorite vegan cupcakes is Chloe's up in New York City, and she's over in LA too now. We're big fans. So we love that stuff. Good work. So that concept. So you have your gigantic North Star vision way up there. From there, you have tangible goals, places you want to land up by the end of this year, the 12-month goals. Prescott, Arizona. Very cool. If we pass through, we want to come say hi and check it out. And then the next piece is, what is your daily set of actions, things you can do every single day to actually make progress towards these goals? Meaning, what can you do? And let me show you a neat way we do with all of our clients in coaching. We track them and measure them daily. Every single day we track and measure them. And so part of the things we get from them, let's say you take your health, and we would say, okay, if that's your giant North Star vision in your health, and this is where you want to be 12 months from now, what are a set of actions you'd have to take every single day in order to be on track to get to that goal? And let's rate these actions, meaning if you were to say, if you had a perfect day, like you killed it, 10 out of 10, you crushed it in your numbers, what would you have had to done? What actions would you have had to completed that day for you to feel that you were absolutely on track with your 12-month goals? And so they write them down. I'd have to, eat this and work out like this and sleep like this and stretch like this. And as long as these things are accomplished, I am 1,000% on track to reach, if not surpass, my 12-month goal. Say, perfect. We'll call that a 10. Now, let's drop down. What about a 7? Meaning you're like 70% on track for that day. What would qualify as a 7? And they say, well, I did 4 out of the 6 things. Okay, which 4? And they write it down and say, okay, that's a 7. What about a 4? Meaning a 4. It's not a 0. You didn't totally screw it up, but you missed most of it. You only got 40% on track on that day. What would qualify as a 4? And so they write it down, and they say, okay, a 4. Well, a 4 would be, shoot, I didn't sleep right, I didn't eat right, but I did exercise, but I missed my stretches. And that would be a 4, I guess. Okay, that's a 4. And what would be a 1? Well, shit, everything went wrong except for one thing. It's like, okay, great. There you go. Now you have a scale. And now what's fascinating is every day you can log on to your spreadsheet, or we use, a survey link we send them every day. And every day they click it and they fill out and they tell us their numbers. And over time, what happens is I can start to see trends going on in their life. I see in their health, they're like 9, 9, 9, 9, 4. 4? What the heck? And all of a sudden it gives me a chance to text them and be like, hey, what the world is going on? You just dropped 5 points in a day. And there was a consistent 9 across the board. And all of a sudden one day you dropped, something crazy happened. How do we identify exactly what caused this? How do we make sure it does not happen again tomorrow? Get you right back on track? And how do we learn from this to better prepare for next time to ensure if you do whatever you just did, that you can improve? So I just had that happen today. A client was like 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, hit it 5. I was like, what happened? And he was like, well, I was on a plane all day traveling with my family back from a trip. I was like, oh, I hate to allow that to be a real excuse, but it's reality of what happened. So the question becomes, A, how do we get it right back up to a 9 or 10 for tomorrow? And B, how do we make sure that we better prepare next time we're going to be traveling like that so that there's not a huge lull or dip in your numbers. And so we came up with a strategy. Real simple, but that level of accountability, if you can create it with yourself or get a coach, somebody, 2 thumbs, this guy, but get a coach to hold you accountable, or really truly start tracking your numbers and do the same thing with every category of your life. Your health, your emotions, your family, your business life, your relationships, your spiritual life, but track and measure. And that way you know how you're actually doing. And every day you can look at your numbers, you can look at your trends, you can show your graph of how you're doing, and you can start to figure out what's causing you to have a great day or a bad day based on actual progress and results. I hope this is helpful for everyone. Let's see. I think it's Tremaine. Cool name. Hey, Jairek, love your stuff. I have a bit of a tough question. Oh, I like tough questions. Let's see. Having a dad as successful as your father, do you feel the pressure to be as successful or more successful than him? How do you handle it? How do you break through people's misconceptions about you being your own man? Truth is, I probably did when I was younger. I don't. I'm me. If you like me, hang out. If you don't, that's cool. Move on. I don't spend a lot of time chatting about dad or worrying about it. I support him like hell. He's doing amazing things in the world. He was just on the cover of Money magazine. I read the material he put together. I've been reading his brand new book. If you haven't grabbed a copy yet, it's really amazing. Great insights on investing, growing your wealth, protecting your family financially. Really great stuff in that book. Definitely make sure to grab a copy. Truth is, though, that was a question I handled probably 10 years ago in my life. And as of now, he's a great guy. I love him, support him in all that he does. He loves and supports me in all that I do. He texted me the other day, told me he's damn proud of me, was bragging about me to someone. So everything's good. And the hardest part was just finding my own footing and realizing that you have to start from scratch. You have to start with where you are. That one of the greatest gifts he ever gave me was the concept of not hooking me up or helping me out in all the ways he could have, when I started my own business. If anything, he gave me a little bit of pushback, which made me stronger. And I really respect and honor that now. I didn't so much back then, and we pissed each other off. But now, it was a great benefit. He made it a little bit harder in the beginning, which allowed me to grow the muscle myself. And, my business disappears, I can regrow it in a day and put it all back together because I know exactly what it took, and I did it myself, and I know exactly how to do it in the future. I hope that helps. Fred, let's see. I'm enjoying your book. Might be sure. For those who are thinking of the perfect day consists of pina coladas and lying on the beach, think again. It's a great eye-opener for those who previously thought an abundant life, etc., would just come to them, who think rich people are unproductive and have it made. Great thought, Fred. Glad you're enjoying the book. When I talk about the ideal day, it's not sitting on the beach drinking pina coladas. Like, you can have a day or two like that. Eventually, you will be bored out of your freaking mind if that's all you do. And how do I know that? Because a lot of those people are my clients. They work really hard. They invest their money. They create $100,000 a month passive income. They've got, $70 million net worth. Everything's amazing. And then they call me because they're bored out of their fucking mind trying to figure out what the hell to do with themselves. And we help them design their ideal day. We help them design a vision for their life that's compelling and it brings them to life and excites them about the future. It gives them something to work towards, something to think about. We help them define the North Star. We help them define goals. We help them come up with a daily action plan, and then we hold them accountable to actually do it every day. And when they do it, they feel amazing. And it's all their stuff. I didn't tell them what to do. They figured it out. But that process is you have to go through those steps to really figure it out and put it together. Meg says, in order for her to stay on track, hit the gym and eat healthy. Very nice. Marnie, great talking to you as well on the Ultimate Health Podcast. Everyone check it out when it's ready. Marilyn said, I'm studying for my CFA test to take in December. Congratulations. I hope you crush it. Let's see. So that's all for tonight. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But really short, sweet, simple. The piece that I wanted to share with you is, what up, Scott? The piece I wanted to share with you really simply is taking time to come up with your North Star vision for each category of your life, come up with your 12-month goals, the end result you want to land up in the next, end of the year, 12 months there. From there, coming backwards and saying, what are the daily standards I must live by in each category of my life? Rate them 0 to 10. For a 10, these things have to be done. For a 7, these things have to be done. For a 4, these things have to be done. And for a 1, this has to be done. Now you have a rating scale. Every day you can rate your actual performance based on actual activities completed and actual things done. Now from there, you're on track. You just need accountability. You need someone to check in every couple of days and say, hey, are you on track or not? That's, get a great coach, get a friend, get a community member, get someone you can team up with that can hold you accountable to staying true to your standard, to holding yourself to that standard. And after every 6 or 12 months, update the standard, because some things doesn't need to be there anymore and some things need to be added for you to track and hold yourself accountable to. So really simple there. Chelsea says, need to start tracking my daily goals. I always start and then something gets me off track and I lose traction. Find a partner or find a coach, or find a few partners, create a community, create 3 or 4 people who are your accountability buddies. And each day at the end of the day, you call each other and it's not a chit chat conversation. It's just saying, hey, we're going to check in on our numbers real quick. So 0 to 10, where were you in your health? Partner 1, got it. Partner 2, got it. Me, I was here. Okay, great. What was great about it? What needs to improve? Partner 1, partner 2, partner 3. Great. Now, where are you emotionally? Partner 1, partner 2, partner 3. And just do that. Go back and forth or go around the circle and hold each other accountable. Or go hire a coach. An easy way to get an accountability buddy is say, hey, I would like to hold you accountable. And when I'm asking you the questions, I'm going to answer them too. It's kind of a neat accountability system you can create for others, Chelsea. Just a thought. Let's see. Stormy from Costa Rica, what's up? We got to come say hi next time we're down there. Staying accountable seems like a great strategy. Hello from Palmdale, California. What's up, George? Let's see. Matt from Australia. Love your stuff. What would you say is the fastest way to snap out of an unproductive mindset? Those days where you're going through growth and you can feel it and the frustration, agitation. Matt, so the biggest thing you want to do in that situation is you want to reset your nervous system. If you go to jarekrobbins.com/blog, or if someone can go on our blog and grab Tuesday's post we just did, if someone can go grab it, it's how to stop fear in its tracks. There's a way you can reset your entire nervous system, and it's just through taking 3 deep breaths, but there's a certain way to do it where you breathe all the way in, a little bit more, you hold it, 1, 2, 3, and then drop all the air out at once. So Matt, try this real quick if you're out there and tell me if this works. Matt from Australia. Everyone else can participate if you want to. Here's what I want you to do. Take a deep breath in. When you feel like you're totally full, take a little bit more. Hold it. Now all out through your mouth at once and drop. Try it again. A little bit more. Hold it. All the way out. One more time. A little bit more. Hold it. All the way out. Now, it's interesting, Matt, to check back in with you. I'd love to know how you feel psychologically and emotionally after just doing that 3 times. I'll wait for an answer, but for most people, it's pretty remarkable that if you just do 3 breaths like that, it's kind of a reset to your entire nervous system. And so when Matt's asking on an unproductive day, when you feel like you're going through a bunch of crap and you're struggling in that concept, how do you snap out of it? Well, the first step to snapping out of it is you've got to reset your nervous system, because most of the time what's happening is you're getting hijacked up here and you're stressed. The other thing you can do, we have this awesome little gizmo right here. It's called Spire. If you go to spire.io, so spire.io, it's a little gizmo. Another thing we track for our clients, goes on your belt, tracks your breathing all day. And what's fascinating is if I pull up my breathing pattern for the day, let's see, hopefully I did good. So here's what my stats look like from, I'll show you today. So far I had 32 minutes of calm. I had 15 minutes of focus and 17 minutes of tense today. And so this gizmo is tracking my breath pattern all day long. And I don't think it tracked all of it because that doesn't add up. here's another day where I had 75 minutes of calm, 36 minutes of focus, and 31 minutes of tense. And so, Matt, part of what you're describing of what's happening is when you're getting hijacked mentally or emotionally, part of what's going on is literally you're going into a tense breathing pattern. And when you go into a tense breathing pattern, your brain can't cognitively, think clearly. And so what's happening is now you're reacting to what's going on. Like you said, you're emotionally just hooked. And so you're reacting and you're either moving towards it and attacking it, or you're running away from it and avoiding it. And so instead, if you can reset your nervous system by taking those 3 deep breaths, if you have Aspire, the breath tracker, you can go in the app and there's a little thing called Breathing with Deepak, a little module where you can take 9 minutes and just breathe with Deepak and get calm. Or there's another one where you can breathe and get focused, where you do this certain breath pattern and it causes you to shift your brain into a focused pattern of breathing, a focused state. And so literally by having a device like that, you can track what you're currently doing. And then what you can land up doing is you can train yourself to go from tense to calm to focus just by changing your breath pattern. My dad also teaches how to stand up, make a move, say yes. And that's another way to change your state. Or you can just change your breathing patterns by becoming aware of them and then purposely choosing to adapt your breath pattern to a calm or focused pattern. And all of a sudden you go right through that fear or uncomfortness and you get into a really strong, powerful place that quickly. It's all based on science and research out of Stanford and other universities as well. So it's rock solid information. But the device is called Spire, SPIRE.io is their website. Anyways, that's all for Fred says, if you're trying to raise your standard, but others are used to the old you, how do you best confront that? Fred, I'm glad you asked. We wrote a chapter on that in the book called Overcoming the 3 Opponents, I believe it's called. And so inevitably, whenever you're trying to overcome the other people around you, what's going to land up happening is, number one, you're going to get external opponents. These are friends. These are people you've met. These are people you've crossed paths with, people you acquaintances, where you meet these people and you tell them what you're trying to do and they go, that'll ever work. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, why would you attack my dream? Damn, I was just trying to share with you something great about life. And it almost feels like they kind of knife you right when you're soft. The next one that happens is you get internal opponents. Or intimate opponents. These are friends, family members, your spouse, significant others, your kids, your mom, dad, your uncle, your brother, sister, someone who really knows you. And they don't want you to get hurt like you did last time, so you don't get let down. So you tell them about this amazing standard you're going to live by, and they go, kind of like when you went to the gym every day last month, huh? And all of a sudden it's like, oh, why would you kick me there? What a dick. Why'd you have to say that? That hurts. And the truth is, Dean, what up, buddy? Josh, nice to see you. The truth is, they're not trying to deter you as much as they're trying to keep you from getting hurt. They're trying to keep you from getting your hopes up and then letting yourself down like a previous attempt. So really, truly, they have the best intentions, but the way they go about it just kind of derails you or deflates you. The final opponent you're going to have to face is the day when you get over those people you don't know, you get over your friends and family, you say, you know what, screw it, I'm going for it. And you work, and you don't see any results. Kind of like when you're trying to get a 6-pack of abs, you do all the sit-ups, you look in the mirror, you're like, nope, still got a keg, that ain't a 6-pack. And you laugh, and you're like, well, shit, is it even going to work? I mean, maybe it works for other people, but I don't know if it's going to work for me. And the hardest opponent you're going to have to face is yourself. When you doubt yourself and you have to overcome your own limiting beliefs, your own emotions, your own fears. And in that thought, the crazy part is when you're going through that, at that moment, that's where you really have to dig deep and you really have to take time every day to train your mind, train your emotions, and you got to build something that Angela Duckworth calls grit, which is passion and perseverance over long periods of time. So you got to take time every day to fuel your grittiness, which there's certain things you can do that we work with on our clients in that capacity. You got to be able to make sure you're constantly staying in a growth mindset. If you're familiar with the book Mindset, by Carol Dweck, the researcher at Stanford University. She figured out the people that are successful in all capacities and the people who fail have a fixed mindset. The people who are succeed have a growth mindset. If you're not familiar with that, Google mindset or go to our blog. Check out the JRC TV we did on growth versus fixed mindset and how you can transition if you catch yourself in a fixed mindset to get back to a growth mindset. But those are some things that you're going to need to do to be able to overcome those opponents and stay focused and keep making progress. And you need to track your progress so you can celebrate the fact that you are making progress, even when it doesn't seem like it, because you're so close to it, you can't see where you were. So we're doing Invisalign right now on our teeth. And what's funny is my wife and I were staring at each other and we're like, have they even changed at all? We can't tell. But what's funny is if you take the original picture and look, we're like, whoa, they're definitely changing. But day to day, we see each other so much, we don't really know if they're changing or not. And so we were laughing because that's what happens in progress every day is you're so close to it, you can't tell. Versus if you go back to the topic of the day and you track and measure your actions and progress daily, now you can go back and go, holy mackerel, I used to be a 5 on average every day. Now I'm a 10. Holy mackerel, look at that improvement. And you can celebrate the victory because you can see the progress. But you need to track it in order to do that. Let's see, Jairek, I was recently offered a CEO position at a big national brand real estate office. Congratulations. I'm all for it, but lately I've been getting a big fear of failing. Why do you think? Have you been the CEO of a giant national branded real estate office before? I'm guessing not. And fear, if you want to know what fear is, all it is your brain asking your body if you're actually prepared. And I'll give you an example, and then I got to wrap up and go grab some dinner. But the sample of this I always like to use is imagine you're a caveman, and you're going out to a tree, your favorite tree or your favorite bush to go take a pee. And so you're walking towards the edge of the cave, and you look over and you see your spear. And you go, should I take it? And then you look out at the tree, and you're like, nah, I'll just leave it there. So you walk out to your favorite tree, you start doing your thing. You're in the middle of going to the bathroom, and all of a sudden the giant bush next to you shakes. It's like, and you're like, and then you hear a deep growl. You're like, oh, crap. Now, at that moment, you generally feel fear. Now, why would you feel fear? You're peeing, your spear's in the cave, and the bush next to you is shaking and growling. I'd feel scared, too, because there might be a saber tooth in there or a bear that's about to eat you. You should feel fearful. That's a good thing. If you didn't, you would just stand there, continue peeing, and the thing would just jump out and eat you. But if you feel fear, you go, and then you either fight it or run like hell. It's good that your body feels fear in that situation. Now, here's what's interesting. What if, rewind, go back to your cave, you're walking out, and you look at your spear and go, you know what? Just in case, I'm going to take my spear. So you grab your spear, you walk on out to your favorite tree, you set it against the tree, you start doing your business, and all of a sudden, halfway through, the big bush shakes, and you hear, "Grrr," and you reach over and grab your spear, and now how do you feel? So most people, instead of feeling fearful, now you're like, shit, dinner, all right. Because now you've got your spear. You are prepared. You're ready for what's in the bush. You turn around, you jab the bush, you drag out dinner, and you drag it into the cave and go, well, shit, that was easy. I didn't even have to go track it down. I just stabbed it, dragged it home, and ate it. Or maybe you stabbed the big bushel of berries. Sorry for our vegan friends on here, but the concept is what I'm going for, not so much killing the saber tooth. But the thought process around, instead of having fear that it's going to eat you, you now feel excited because you have the opportunity to get dinner. That concept. And the only reason you feel excited is you have your spear. You are prepared. So if you rewind this into this real estate concept is, well, you can dance with a saber tooth, but I'm pretty sure it'll eat you at that point. Unless you're a saber tooth whisperer. Not sure. But here's the concept. Fred, or George, I'm sorry. The only thing your body is really asking you is, hey, am I really prepared to accomplish this? Because if we sat down together for a half day and I figured out what your goals were, we figured out what's actually going on in the real estate company, we figured out measurable, tangible results, we figured out daily actions you could track, we came up with a game plan of how you're going to implement this stuff, we did a entire psychological and emotional profile and personality profile on all the team members, you got to know who they are, we went and asked them what all their goals are, we understood what they're trying to accomplish and how they're trying to get there, and you did the homework and you became fully prepared, I doubt you'd feel fearful at that point. Instead, you'd be incredibly excited at the lives you're about to impact, the business you're about to grow, the goals you're about to accomplish. And all of a sudden now you have your spear because you're prepared at that moment. And at that moment, the fear disappears that quick. And so really, truly, if you were to say, why is this fear here? I'm guessing you just need more time to prepare yourself to fully take on this position in full and do the homework on the people, the opportunity, the situation, where you want to go, what you want to achieve with them. And as that all unfolds, your confidence will go through the moon because you know you will be ready and prepared. Or in the process, you might find out, oh, I'm not ready. I'm not the right person to do these things. So you might disqualify yourself and help them find the right person. Or if you are the right person, you'll step up and freaking deliver, and it'll be totally exciting in that process. Chelsea says, let your emotions serve you. Definitely get that, but it's hard to do when you're right in the middle of it. Exactly. So one big factor there, Chelsea, goes back to the breathing concept of, do you have a way to track yourself? My little thing just buzzed a second ago. And what's neat is when it buzzed me, it told me, let me see, I'll show you. So my little thing, I'm in the middle of talking to you all, and here's what's pretty wild. My little spire buzzed me, and my little thing on my belt, and it said, hey, you just had 2 minutes of calm. That's 41 minutes of calm for the day. And so what happens is, it buzzes me throughout the day and it tells me how I'm doing. Now let's see if I can. So here's another one. There was, while I was talking and doing a training, if you see at the bottom there, it says, you have, where is it? Here you go. So at the bottom here, it says, it looks like you haven't moved in a while. Would you like to get up and stretch your legs? Also, it seems like you haven't taken a deep breath in a while. Have time for one now? So it's literally helping me track what's going on, and it's helping me to pay attention and to know what pattern I'm in. So it just buzzed me again right now and says, hey, you just had 2 minutes of focus. That's 22 minutes for the day. So it's telling me all throughout the day when I'm focused, when I'm calm, or when I'm tense, aka fear is coming in my brain. I'm being hijacked emotionally. And so what's happening is whenever it tells me I'm tense or stressed, I take time to take a big breath and go, get back to calm, get back to focus, and boom, I'm ready to go. Back out of fear, right on track again. But that takes training, and it takes first measuring it and then practicing it. Chelsea says, I've gotten my 4-year-old to keep giving me checks throughout the day. That's awesome. When I get upset or off track, she stops me and points out. Pays off to have her listen to Tony almost daily. Yes. Technology is called Spire. Spire.io. Here, www.spire.io. I think I have a link that might have a discount code as well. If anyone's interested in that, let me know. But I just posted the actual link to their website. Go check it out. Grab one. I think I have like a $20 off or 20% off something link that they gave me. But I'm a huge fan of it. I use it with all our clients. We track all their breathing patterns. And again, it helps you to track, adjust, track, acknowledge, and then adjust to get into the state you want to be in instead of just being pushed and pulled around by whatever you go to. Anyways, I'm going to go grab some dinner. Hope you all have an amazing day. Look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Let's see. Where's that button?